Vedant, so you have been running this co-working space, and there are so many startups around you. You would be seeing some startups failing miserably, some of the startups flying high. What piece of advice as a co-founder of the co-working space do you give to the startups who are failing miserably? You are on mute, Vedant.
Uh, Sorry. I'll start from where Himanshu sir left off. Is that it's true. A lot of the value that is associated with any company which is being funded is intangible, and there is no black and white method of measuring it, especially with the learning curve kicking in. And what we've realized in speaking with a lot of our members is that there are a lot of people who are running behind valuation in general without actually focusing on the core business. And what happens in that scenario is that as a startup, in their heads, the value of something is bloated multiple times as compared to the value that is associated to that know-how by any external. Uh, Another part is that a lot of times, a lot of this intangible know-how, these startups are not being able to communicate that to a potential investor. They're not being able to send the message across, or send the right message across in the right way. And a lot of times they whatsoever attach a value to that kind of know-how by themselves. So it kind of just a very large thing just boils down to a simple sales pitch of sorts, and that just doesn't work out, which is sad to see, but it's true. So I would say that for anyone who is starting up, anyone who's thinking of doing a business, I mean, a chartered accountant is the first person that you need. That one person needs to keep track and have a record of your balance sheets year on year, and that one person needs to be spoken to at least once in 3 months, so that you get a perspective from an external person who is not deep diving into your business activities but is looking at your business overall in general. uh, I myself, I've been surprised to see a lot of balance sheets of my members or other friends or other people that we work with. And when you look at them, or when you talk to them, or when you look at their social profiles or their LinkedIn profiles, they seem to be doing really, really well. But when you look at their balance sheet, it just tells a different story altogether. On the flip side, there are guys who come across as struggling constantly. But when you look at their balance sheets, when you look at their P&L statements, it's just mind blowing, the kind of growth that they've shown. So I would say that this is something that, as a business, I mean, valuation is something which is very critical to all startups now. There is only a certain point till which we can go without external funding. I would be, it would be very silly of me to say that any business would function long term without valuation. I mean, uh, you could just be an SME and it could be a lifestyle business, but if you're really in there passionately and you want to make it big, then you will need to raise external funding at some point or the other. So having your consultants work with you from day one is the most important, because that kind of puts all your effort into a perspective for a third person who might want to come in and put money. And it's as simple as that. If I walk up to any of you guys asking for any chunk of money, then you're going to want to know how safe your money is, and you are going to want to bet your money on something that you really, really believe in. Now it's my job to get that message across to you.
Right. Excellent piece of advice there, Vedant. Uh, so communication is the key, right?
Absolutely.
Excellent. So, and I'm sure a lot of the founders who are either coming from, let's say, tech background, then the communication would be the least priority for them, and they all would care about is building the product, making the tech far more superior than their upcoming or the forthcoming competitors, and communication is basically something which they would not prioritize. And